Hi everybody, I'm so glad you're able to join us to talk about this very important topic. My name is Imani Moore.
And I'm Cherry.
And we're here to get you involved. You were a child. Do you feel like you got the most out of your education?
Or did you lack the needed resources to do so?
Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that there's a small amount of people living in the well, a little more in the middle class, and an abundant amount of people living in poverty, struggling to make ends meet.
Why is this relevant? Because wealth inequalities have a great impact on children, especially academically. Here's how.
New question for the audience.
During summer break, were you able to go to summer camp, an overnight stay, and be filled with educational fun activities, encourage you to explore, and most importantly, help you maintain everything you learned the past school year?
Or did your summer vacations consist of staying at home, taking care of your siblings, going outside some days playing with friends, and other days playing video games? True, but whenever a child is academically challenged, even during a school break, it's better for them fundamentally.
Not only that, I'm very sure children at some point wanted at least one summer described in the first scenario. But it all comes down to money and what their parents can offer.
Exactly, but that's only one of the ways wealth inequalities are affecting our children. Let's get into something more current.
Millions of children today are doing remote learning. And as you know, we are fighting the coronavirus.
And we can't guarantee that every child has the needed resources in order to do well in this setting.
How is that affecting the children academically? How is that a fault of wealth inequalities? And how else are wealth inequalities affecting children?
See, it may seem obvious, but the article has so much more to say about it, and it's really worth taking a look at it. So I won't say much more.
Fair enough, but before we ask people to read it, we have to tell them why this topic is important. Moving away from the obvious reasons. Care to list a few?
Of course, but first let me ask, did you know that the education you've received is based on the economic status of your family? Did you go to school doing your best, taking advantage of all opportunities given to you, not realizing someone elsewhere in the same grade as you is receiving a better education just because their family is economically more stable than yours? For the most part, we don't recognize these differences until it's time to take a standardized test or apply to colleges. Was it then that you realized that you might have received the short end of the stick, when indeed, those differences have been there since you entered kindergarten?
Your point is?
My point is, this topic is important because people who receive the best education don't realize that this is indeed a privilege, and people who don't receive the best education don't realize that they don't have the best education until they went through the whole education system, and by then it's too late.
Not only that, everyone in the US is legally required to go through K-12 grade. So why is this education provided so diverse and not in the right ways? Plus, there are many other subtle ways that the wealth differences between families affect the education and opportunity children receive, which is all spelled out more in the article.
Honestly, don't read the article for Cherry and I. Rather, do it for your siblings, your children, your grandchildren. Do it so the next generation doesn't have to encounter this biased system in the way that we had to.
Change starts with us.
So let's make it so that the lower social class doesn't have to work 10 times harder for something that is handed to the higher class, because when is that ever fair?
Simply making yourself aware of this topic will have a meaningful impact, because the first step to fixing anything is knowledge.
We encourage you to take the time out of your day to read the 6-minute article, and if you have time, read the other 2 articles that's attached to it,
so that you can be a part of the change
and help ensure that our children don't suffer through these academic differences amongst their peers. Thank you.